Hi, this is Saurabh Kumar Bhatt from Ranchi, Jharkhand. First of all, that I started my the educations and qualifications. I have just completed my the 12th degrees from DAVs, Dhanbad, Jharkhand in 2012 with 70 percentiles. After that I have joined in the SIT's college for the BTech degrees. In 2016 that I have completed my the BTech degrees as a mechanical engineers with 70 percentage. After that, two consecutive years that I have 2006, in 2016 and 2017, I have qualified for the written ISRO examinations. But unfortunately, after the interview, that not make in a final list. After that, in 2018, that I have joined for the master degrees in Veer Sundar Singh Sai Universities, placed in Sambalpur, Odisha. In the last year, 2020s, that I have passed my the master degrees as a mechanical engineer with 87%. From 2016 to 2021, that I have joined as a faculties member in a various institute. I am here to express my the interest in a faculty's positions at the BIJUS. I have chosen this company because I want to start my the career in a field where I can show my the technicals and teaching skills, and that simplify the learning experience that the BIJUS always provide, and that inspire me more to join the BIJUS. And also I get the chance here to learn more things. My experience aligned well as I have worked as a faculty's member for the since last 5 to 6 years. In addition to my experience, I have a solid education foundations and passion for the advancements teaching that build the loyalties and in turns grow revenue for your organizations. I would much appreciate the opportunity to contribute to your ongoing growth and continued success. Today, this is my introductions. Now you have to focus on one chapter, physics chapter known as the electromagnetisms. Now, before starting the electromagnetism chapters, you must be need why it is important to study the electromagnetisms. What is its importance? For knowing the importance, you must be focused on 2 or 3 questions regarding the to knowing about the importance of electromagnetisms. In your mind, that the 2 or 3 questions like that, how the signals received by the satellites and how the satellite just send the signals to your televisions, so that you have to show the different telecast or broadcast on your televisions. When you're sitting in your cars and just tuning your radio and fix your frequency, then you listen to different song. How it possible? How the signals come from the satellite to your radios? How your sound just reaches your the friend when you talk with your mobile and friend just apart from you? How the sunlight just travel from sun surface to the earth surface? How it reaches? How the Chandrayaan just send the signal from moon to the earth, and how the ISRO just send the signal to the Chandrayaan 2. And this all things happens, all these signals are receiving and sending in fractions of times. And all these signals sent through the electromagnetic wave in the form of electromagnetic waves. Yes, and this electromagnetic wave dears connected with associated with your electromagnetisms. This is the important that why you have to read or why you have to study the electromagnetisms. Now the electromagnetisms have the 2 aspects. That is the electromagnetism, that is the one electric field, that is the one electricities, and another one is magnetisms. And always 2 things are associated with each other. For better understanding how these 2 things are connected to each other, you have to take in one example again. You know the magnetic needles? When the magnetic needle is just close enough to the magnet, then it deviates. Take it the magnetic needles and close enough to the wire where the current has been passed. This needle shows some deflections. What that means? That means the current carrying conductor shows some magnetic nature. That is the relations between electric field and the magnetic fields. So you need to find the both the things you have to study in a combined form. Then why you have to separate the things? For better understandings, first you have to study the electricity and after that the magnetisms. And in the higher classes, in the higher educations, you have to combine and learn the things. Today you have to focus on electricity. Again, before you start the electricities, you must know about some terms known as the free electron, what is the conductor, what is the body having the charge, positive charge or negative charge. You know that the every material having made of a teeny particles known as the atoms. And atoms consist one thing known as the nuclei, and nuclei is the just heart of the atoms or place in the center of the atoms. In the nuclei, there is two fundamental elements are there, that is known as the proton and neutron. And third one fundamental known as the electron just orbiting around the nuclei. That means in the atom having the three fundamental things. Then one is protons, another one is neutrons, and another one electrons. These protons and neutrons place inside the nuclei and electron just orbiting around the nuclei. Here the only facility to be the electron eject in or eject out from the atoms. You can also the proton having eject out or eject in through the bombardment or reaction or nuclear reactions. But here you can only is electron is eject out in the atom or eject in inside the atoms. Also the proton having the positively charged particles. Neutron there is no charge on there. And electron having a negatively charged. Then what is the meaning of charge? And when somebody says that the body having the positively charged, body having the negatively charge, what it means? Again, taken some examples to understood how the body having the positively charged and how the body having the negatively charged. Let's suppose the one material are there, and inside the material having the 100 number of proton or 100 number of electrons. That means 100 positives and 100 negatives. These 100 protons, positive protons, and just cancel out the 100 negative electrons, and body overall become in a neutral state, right? What happens when the two extra electrons just eject inside the materials? Two extra electrons eject inside the materials. Yes, still there is inside the material 100 number of protons are there, but there is an excess number of electrons are there. That means 102 number of electrons are there. These 100 positive protons just cancel out the 100 negative electrons. But what about the two extra electrons? These two extra electrons make the body negatively charged by 2. That means the gaining of electron, the receiving of electrons, then the body becomes the negatively charged. Or excess number of electrons, then the body having the negatively charged. Now taken another example to understood how the body having the positively charged. What is means the body having a positively charged? Let's suppose there is a one materials, 100 number of proton, 100 number of electrons, still there is in a neutral state. What happens when the one number of electrons just eject out from the materials, or materials having donate 1 electrons? There is a shortage of electron. Still inside the material having the 100 number of protons, but there is a 99 number of electrons are there. These 99 negatively charged electrons just cancel out to the 99 positive protons. But what about the 1 protons? These 1 protons make the body having the positively charged by 1. From these 2 examples, we have concluded the 3 things. First one, when the body having the excess number of electrons, then the body having a negatively charged equal to the number of excess electron. Second one, when the body having the shortage of electrons, then the body makes itself a positively charged. Now the third one, When the body having the equal number of proton or equal number of electron or equal number of positively charged or equal number of negatively charged, then the body make itself in a neutral state, right? So charge having the two types. One is positive, one is negatives. When the positive just close enough, then it shows repulsions. Same in the same way, just negative charge, when they close enough, then again shows repulsions. That means the like charges shows the repulsions, and when the positive and negative charge close enough, then it shows the attractions. Then the unlike charges shows the attractions. Wow. And one electron just also contain the some charge. One electron contain the minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Here the coulomb is the unit of charge. And one proton also contain the plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Again here the coulomb is the unit of charge, right? Now you have to focus on what is the meaning of the free electrons. Again we have taken some examples. There is a one materials are there. Let's say one rectangular materials are there, or one square, one cuboid materials are there. You know that the material having the made up of a small atoms, and every atom just contain the electrons. Suppose that these electrons just eject out from the respective atoms, not from the material here. Electrons only eject out from the respective atoms, not from the materials. That means again the overall materials having a neutral state. But what about the electrons? Just electron eject out from the respective atoms. These electrons known as the free electrons. Then what is the definition of the free electrons? Those electrons just eject out from the respective atoms, not from the entire materials, is known as the free electrons. On the basis of the free electrons, you differentiate the types of the materials. That is the three types. One is conductor, another is insulator, and third one is semiconductor. When all electrons are free from the respective atoms, or the maximum number of electrons are free from the respective atoms, known as the conductor. When there is no electrons free electrons from the respective atoms, that means all electrons are bonded from the respective atoms, known as the insulator. And what is the semiconductor, dear? Yes. When the some electrons are bonded and some electrons are free from the respective atoms, is known as the semiconductor. Here we have to focus on the conductor, because here all the electrons are free, or the maximum number of electrons are free, and these free electrons just form the concept, give the concept of the electricities. Then what is the meaning of electricities? How the free electron is associated with the electricities? Suppose that when you have taken the conductors, and here the lots of free electrons, or maximum number of free electrons are there, and when these free electrons just move inside the conductor, then the current has been formed. Then what is the definitions of current? Just listen the definition of current. The current is the rate of flow of charge, or rate of flow of free electrons, is known as the current. What is the meaning of rate of flow? Rate of flow, that means when the free electrons move in a particular interval of time, that is known as your current. Let's say suppose there is a conductor number 1 and this one is a conductor number 2. Let's say here the 5 number of free electrons, and these 5 number of free electrons just move one into another end within the 0.1 second. And this one in conductor 2, when the 5 electrons move one into another end in 0.01 second, that means take less time as compared to the conductor 1. That means in that case the amount of current has been more. That is the meaning of the rate. How fast the free electrons just move inside the conductor, then the amount of current should be more. For the conductor, the rate of flow of free electron or charge is more important rather than the amount of free electron or amount of charge has been flowed. Right? That means the current is equal to the rate of flow of charge. That means I is the notations of symbol of the current. I is equal to Q by T, where the Q is the charged and T is the time. I is equal to Q by T. Then what is the unit of I? You know that the charge having unit coulombs and time as the unit second. That means the coulomb per second is known as the unit of current. Coulomb per second also known as the ampere. That means ampere is your unit of current, right? And current having also a scalar quantity. What is the meaning of scalar quantity here? That is the two types of quantities. If the quantity having the magnitude and directions both, then it is known as the vector quantities. And if the materials having or quantity having the only magnitude, known as the scalar quantity. That means current is your the scalar quantity. Sometimes the examiner asks you what is the 1 ampere. 1 ampere, that means the 1 coulomb charge flow in a 1 second. This amount is known as the 1 ampere. That the 1 coulomb charge flow in a 1 second. That's simple one. Now the next questions. How this electron just move inside a conductor from one end to another end? Because because on the rate of the moving of the flow of electrons depends the current, right? Then how these electrons move inside the conductor, how these free electrons move inside the conductor, it needs some energy. You have applied some work to be move a free charge from one end to another end. That here the concepts come with your potential difference. Now listen to what is the potential difference. The work done required to move a charge from one end to another end inside the conductor is known as your potential difference. More will be the potential difference, higher will be the rate of flow of charges. That means the free electron flow with the faster rate. That means the higher amount of the current. Then what is the potential difference? Potential difference, that means the work done required to move a charge from one end to another end inside the conductors. That means del V or change in V is equal to work done by charge. Work done by charge. What is the unit of work done? That is the joule. What is the unit of charge? That is the coulombs. That means joule per coulombs is your known as the volt, and volt is your unit of potential difference. Now you have to, from this current and the potential difference, you have to think about or able to understand that this potential difference and current having both terms are associated, because with the more will the potential difference, higher will the rate of flow of charges, then the higher amount of the current. From these two term associations, you have to better to understood by the one law known as the Ohm's law. What is the Ohm's law? According to these laws, the electric current is directly proportional to the potential difference inside the conductor. But wait, it's not a complete sentence. Again that I have repeated. The electric current directly proportional to the potential difference inside the conductor at a constant temperature. That means I is equal to directly proportional to del V, or del V directly proportional to the current I. When we convert the directly proportional to the equalities, then we must be put some the constant. That means I is equal to that some constant multiply with the change in V, that means the change in V is equal to multiply some constant into I. These constant are known as the resistance. That is notation by the R. Okay. Thank you for giving the opportunity to stand and deliver something. Thank you for that.